Kraken wrap up their first homestand of the season. Head coach Dan Bylsma learned a few things about his team, and one of them was resiliency.
We had some tough games, and just to see the guys have some success, build in that success, believe in that success. You know, the Colorado first period was our best period of the year, and I think what it says to everybody and what it says to the guys is that we can, when we play well, we can play with anybody, we can beat anybody. And you know, you saw that throughout this homestand.
Yeah, I found that interesting that you pinpointed that first period against Colorado where you outshot the Avs but didn't get any goals and didn't have anything really to show for it, but your players must have been feeling, you know what, that was a pretty darn good period.
Well, that was even the mindset after that period. You know, going out for the second is, you know, if we keep playing that way, success will come. And maybe it doesn't come at the end of 60 minutes, but if we can play that way, if we can play that way for 60 minutes, we're going to be a really tough team to play against, and we're going to get a lot of wins playing that way.
During the homestand, let's talk about situational coaching, because I thought it was just a really impressive move by you as the head coach to call a timeout in the middle of the game when you had a 5-on-3 and really just strangle that moment, just take total advantage of that moment. Tell me what went into that thinking.
Well, it was a bit of a slog of a game, to be quite honest. There wasn't a lot of events happening in the game, scoring chances for and against on either side of the ledger. And, you know, we had gotten to a point in the game, even be it the second period, that that power play was critical for us to have success in the game. And it's probably no better time to call a timeout when you have that possibility of the 5-on-3. It's super important. I think, you know, what's the success rate of a 5-on-3? It's 38% historically, but it feels like you need to score in the game at that point in time. And so just taking a deep breath, taking a timeout, getting on the same page, and hopefully you cash in with the opportunity.
All right, you talk about percentages there, and you and I have had a quick chat about this before, but you also have had some opportunities to pull your goalie this year. The percentage of pulling a goalie, that's all kind of analytics, isn't it?
Analytics, yeah, and they're numbers that I can't say I fully understand, to be honest, but they're facts. You know, pulling the goalie 2 down, you know, the analytics say a certain time. 3 down, it says 6 minutes to pull the goalie at, and even though it seems like an awful lot of time, and it's difficult to manage six minutes with, you know, 6-on-5 pulling your goalie, but that's what the analytics say, and I'm pulling my goalie a little sooner than I would have done 10 years ago because of the numbers. When
you see that, as a viewer and a fan, you're going, man, these guys must have to practice all of these situations. So, I mean, do you just pick times? You know, you can't possibly practice all of these situations in one practice. So, so it's just kind of like one of those things where it's a revolving deal, isn't it?
It is. It's, you know, talking about situations, the games that don't, especially 6-on-5, don't happen that often. You don't want them to happen that often. But you got to be prepared for the personnel going out, how you're going to be applying it. You're in constant adjustment and to the situation, to the personnel, to what's happening in the game. It's not a static game. It's ever flowing, it's ever changing. It's never the same way twice. And you got to be ready with all those scenarios. Both player and the coach have to be ready for all those scenarios when they come.